Hello, Angie here. We're going to get started on Module 4. So I'm going to share the screen and stop my video, and we'll get right to it. Hang on. And full screen. All right. There we go. Module 4. Here we go. This is a good one. I think you're going to enjoy it. We dive a little bit deeper into mindset, and I'm going to teach you, I hope they're not hard concepts, but some concepts about your body and nutrition. We're going to get into macronutrients, and the first one this week is fats. And then for exercise, I actually made a separate video for you for exercise because it's about strength training with bands. And then stress reduction is probably a reminder for most of you about being grateful, but being grateful every single day is not easy. So we're just going to try to be more intentional about that. And then I'm going to start with this from Matthew 7 through 8, because the first mindset is about asking and receiving. And, this is biblical. This is just a mindset issue that we don't practice on a daily basis. I certainly don't. If you do, let me know. But it's ask and it will be given to you. Seek and you will find. Knock and the door will be opened to you. For everyone who asks receives. The one who seeks finds. And to the one who knocks, the door will be opened. So encouraging, so hopeful, and I just love that. So today we're going to cover, again, mindset, asking for you want, and practice receiving. I'm going to get into nutrition. We're going to talk about the garbage in your body, and it's produced by the shuns, oxidation, inflammation, and glycation. And I'm going to try to just briefly explain those and get into, what you can do about getting the garbage out of your body by changing your oil and fats and omega-3s, more omega-3s in your body. And then again, strength training is on a separate video, and gratitude. All right, so let's dive right in. Last week I had you look at the feelings wheel, and that was looking at all aspects of your life, your spiritual, professional, mental, physical, social, and emotional. And when we talk about wellness and losing weight and having more energy and being more present for our family, I can't just in good conscience be the kind of health coach that just tells you to diet and exercise. And that's all it is, because it's so much more. I want to make sure we're covering all areas of your life, because you want to run on all 8 cylinders, not just on 2 or 3. So it's a constant looking at all of the aspects of your life. So I hope you kind of tuck that wellness wheel in your back pocket and look at it every few months so that you can really see what's lacking in your life and where you need to give your life a little more attention. I loved this quote from Maya Angelou: ask for what you want and be prepared to get it. And this couldn't be more true. I recently went through this asking and receiving process with Chrissy Key Rollins. She is a mindset coach that I have been introduced to, and she really had me go through this because I thought I was kind of asking for what I wanted, but I really wasn't. I was just asking for what I thought I needed. I didn't ask for what I wanted, and because I thought it was selfish. I thought I have a blessed life. I am grateful for it. Asking for what I want seems very rude and like I shouldn't do it. There's that should word. But actually asking for what you want tells the universe or God or whatever your belief system is that you're ready to receive. And it just couldn't be more true. So I'm going to have you practice that this week. And I want you to ask with these things in mind. The first one is ask with commitment. Is this really what you want? And once you know that's what you want, get behind yourself 100%, get behind yourself 110%, and just ask with confidence. The next one is ask with awareness, because this was an interesting one for me. Everything comes with a price, right? So this was an example I used in the book, but maybe if you ask to lose weight, you will, other things come along with that. My example was a poor example, but you're going to have to buy a whole new wardrobe. Oh, shucks. But other examples are, if you ask for a raise, you probably get more job responsibilities. If you ask for to move to a new house with a pool, well, what comes with that is maintaining the pool, right? So you just want to make sure you're fully aware. You know what? You watch out for what you ask for, right? Also, ask without fear. And don't worry about anything else that comes with it, like it not being everything you hoped for. For example, probably about 4 or 5 months ago, I asked for more money. Somehow, some way, I needed more money. I know I just did. Well, pretty much instantaneously that afternoon, my senior pastor called me to see if I would take a temporary position at the church. Well, that was me receiving exactly what I asked for, right? So ask without fear and ask with trust, because you are worthy. You have to believe in yourself that you are worthy to receive everything you ask for. It goes back to the affirmations that we talked about at the beginning of this program, and being your own best friend. Ask with trust. You deserve it. Yes, you do. And if you don't believe it, go back to your affirmations. Go back to your value and take a look at that. And then, ask without expectations. This kind of goes with the fear one, that it may not come in the form you expect it to. So like another example is, I asked for travel. I want to travel. I want to go to Europe. I want to go to Ireland. I want to go to Spain and Greece. And yeah, I want to travel. Well, once I put that out there, Paul, again, almost instantaneously, Paul asked me to go on a business trip with him to Chicago. Well, guess what? I got what I asked for. I am traveling. It wasn't what I expected, but it was a travel situation and a wonderful trip. So just knowing and believing and trusting that what you put out there is actually going to come, because what if 80% of everything you ask for comes to fruition? In my short time of doing this, it has been true. It has been absolutely true. So I want you to take this seriously and look at, have you been asking for what you want or only what you need? I want you to say it out loud, say it to someone, journal it, whatever you need to do. And why haven't you been asking for more? Just this last week, I wrote in my journal, I want at least 10 to 15 new clients for my second beta group program. And guess what? I got 20. I asked for it. I said it out loud. So it works. And so again, go back to your wellness wheel and decide, what are the things you need? Do you need to ask for support from your family members for losing weight? Do you need to ask for help around the house so that you can go do a yoga class or go walking with a friend? For me, I probably need to ask for help around the house so I can go to a Bible study. I feel a little bit low in the spiritual end of my wheel. So get used to asking for what you want and watch the miracle unfold of actually receiving what you're getting. Which brings me right to the next one, is receiving. I don't know about you, but I didn't realize how poor I was at receiving. I couldn't even receive a compliment. Anytime someone complimented me, I pushed it off. I'm like, oh, your hair looks great today. Oh, well, it's only because I washed it. Otherwise, it usually looks bad. Or I couldn't even just say thank you. to a compliment, to receiving a compliment. So how does the universe know that I want to receive more if I can't even receive a compliment? Let alone gifts of time or service or someone actually wanting to give me money for helping them with health coaching. How does the universe know that I even care about receiving that kind of thing? So I want you to practice receiving this week and forever. Take note of how it feels. And did you know that you can never ask for the wrong thing? So don't be afraid. Ask for what you want. Ask for anything. And every time you allow yourself to receive in any way, more is sent to you because you're ready. You're getting yourself ready. So I want you to think of some ways that you can practice receiving this week, and let me know on our call or on Facebook. Let me know how you're receiving things. And remember, sometimes you'll receive things that you ask for not in the way you want. We talked about this, but maybe you are putting out asking for help with, let's say, going through your closet. All right, going through your closet because you need help sorting through things. And you ask a friend for help. Well, maybe that friend says no. But maybe in a different way, somehow a family member says they'd like to, I'm making this up, can you tell? They would maybe like to have some of the clothes that don't fit you anymore. Well, that's you receiving. It just wasn't in the way you expected it to. That friend said no, but the universe sent you someone else to help you in a way go through that closet. Okay, I need to come up with a better example. That was kind of poor, but you get what I'm saying. I do think that. All right, let's go to the next slide. All right, okay, so that's your mindset. Now we're going to dive into nutrition, and we're going to talk about garbage in your body. So when too much garbage accumulates in your blood and tissues, your bodies have a hard time getting rid of it. And then your body gets way out of balance. And then that's when you start feeling tired, you're grumpy, moody, you're gaining weight. And basically, but in the simplest terms, for the rest of the program, I'm going to help you simply keep the garbage out of your body and strengthen your garbage disposal system. The garbage disposal system is your immune system. We're going to make your immune system strong so it works for you. All right? So the garbage that I'm talking about is basically the sticky stuff, the plaque that forms in your blood vessels. And it restricts blood flow and causes all these health-related problems, the big ones like diabetes and cardiovascular disease, but it also causes weight gain and it causes you to sleep poorly. So, we're really going to concentrate on that. And so I want you to know that the byproducts of keeping the garbage out of your body is weight loss and feeling more energetic, sleeping better, smaller waist size, radiant skin, less wrinkles. So that's what we are getting to. And the 3 ways you get garbage in your body is through these 3 shuns: the oxidation, inflammation, and glycation, which I'm going to go into briefly just to explain to you what's happening in your body and why I'm going to be telling you what I need to tell you about nutrition, because we want that garbage out and we want your immune system and the wisdom of the body to take over, and it's less work for you then. All right. So people who put more effort in getting rid of garbage in their body are going to age better. That is good news, right? All right. So let's go into the first one, which is oxidation. Okay. So we are oxygen producing human being bodies, right? Our body produces oxygen. It's constantly flowing through our blood and our system. Well, what does oxygen do? It creates rust in the bodies. So the rust attacks our cells and our tissues. So that's why we need antioxidants to remove this type of garbage. And that's when I talked about the lemon water in the morning. Lemon juice is one of the best forms of antioxidants out there. And so drinking that in the morning is going to help get rid of that rust that's in the body. Other things that help you produce produce more other forms of antioxidants are phytofoods. And some great examples are, I wrote them down here, they're bell peppers, berries, cinnamon, onions and garlic. Ooh, I love myself some garlic, sweet potatoes, radishes, turmeric. You're probably saying, what the heck is turmeric? That is one of the best forms of antioxidants. Apricots, mangoes, kale, and eggplant. And I included a golden milk turmeric tea recipe. I have made this. It's not bad. And it is, when you mix turmeric with black pepper, that is going to, it enhances the bioavailability of the turmeric. So it's a good combination to put together. So we're going to be talking about food combinations in another week, but this is just a super duper way to get an antioxidant in your bloodstream. Excuse me. All right, the next shun is inflammation. That is the buzzword in all health fields right now, and it should be, because inflammation is probably one of the major causes of a lot of our big problems in the health industry: diabetes, cardiovascular disease, heart attacks, things like that. And so now your body needs inflammation to fight, any repair situation, but you need just the right amount of inflammation, not too much, not over repair. And that's because that over repair is when healthy cells are damaged. So think of it like a road. Our blood vessels are like a road, a well-maintained road. And so whenever the road becomes bumpy or there's some pit holes in the road, our body sends cytokines, the inflammation, to go repair the roads. All is fine. So you need that inflammation to repair the roads. But when that wear and tear becomes too much, our body goes out of balance, and we send too many cytokines to those pit holes and to those problem areas. And then they start over repairing. So instead of just fixing the hole in the road, they over repair, and that hole gets filled up so much that it blocks the blood vessel. So that's why we have to keep inflammation at the right balance. Think about a cut on your finger, okay? This is kind of a great way to explain inflammation. So you get a cut on your finger, and that injury signals to the body to go heal and cleanse that area of the body. And this is called the inflammatory response, okay? So the chemical messengers, or the cytokines, are sent to mobilize that army to go fight and clean and heal that wound, right? So it mobilizes the macrophages, and then they engulf the site and kill all the germs at the site. All right. So when you cut your finger and you see redness, that is the extra blood flow going right to that cut. Then you see swelling. Well, that's all those cells going to the site to fix it, and it swells up, right? This is what happens inside of our body when too much wear and tear goes on. It swells up because we're sending all these cytokines, macrophage cells, to that part of the body to heal it. And then it gets hot. It's actually a heat. You can feel the heat on your cut finger. And that's the friendly fire, because it's actually doing good. But when it's over repair, then it's bad inflammation, too much. It's like the body is on fire. So anyway, I hope that sort of made sense. But basically, the ways to keep inflammation down, this is what we're going to work on, is having a smaller waist size. Believe it or not, that is true. Eating fish, Changing your oils, that's what we're going to talk about today. We've already talked about grazing and exercising and staying calm, which is all ways to reduce inflammation. All right, let's go to the last one, glycation. Okay, this is probably the most difficult to explain, but basically glycation is excess sugar in your blood that attaches to proteins, and that it changes the structure of those proteins, and now they're called AGEs, advanced glycation end products. And then this becomes the sludge in your tissues. It slows everything down. And so this all goes back to, okay, well, first I want to say this. Glycation occurs in the arteries and in the collagen of the skin. It causes wrinkles. So I think that will perk you up to make you think, oh, let's get rid of this glycation process and this garbage. And the best way to do that is with stable insulin levels. And so let me just explain to you a little bit about insulin. I try to be brief, but basically insulin is made in your pancreas, and it's signaled when you eat carbohydrates. And when you eat carbohydrates, that gets into your bloodstream. So carbohydrates become glucose or blood sugar, and it's needed in your cells for energy, right? So the pancreas sends the insulin to the insulin helps. Oh gosh, the insulin helps get that glucose, the carbohydrates turn to glucose. The insulin kind of escorts the glucose to the cell, because it kind of is the gatekeeper. The insulin is like, okay, here you go, cell. This is your energy for the day. The glucose can't get in the cells by themselves. They need insulin to get into the cells. Okay, so it unlocks and the cells receive glucose, and then you have energy. However, if you're going to eat too many carbohydrates, okay, carbohydrates are not bad for you. It's just in excess. When you eat too many carbohydrates, then it signals the pancreas to create more insulin. And suddenly that escort service is being overtaxed. And then the cells start to resist that, the insulin, the glucose. They were like, no, thanks. And so then what happens to the glucose? The body's like, okay, where do we go now? So it goes into the liver and the belly. And then that's where all of that blood sugar is stored. And then that's when you become imbalanced and out of balance. And that's when diabetes occurs, and heart disease, and just lots of stuff. So stable insulin levels are the key here. And the best way to get rid of that, I think it's on my next slide, I'm not sure. Oh, yes. Yes, okay, stable insulin levels. I'll just keep going with that. Those are the magic words of health. And just remember this, insulin is like the master hormone, okay? It is like the conductor of a symphony. The conductor, let's say all the hormones are in a symphony. Well, the insulin is the conductor. And almost every age-related illness goes up as your blood sugar rises. So it is so important to sip on smoothies, graze, eat slow, and just keep those blood sugar levels normal. So these are all the ways I've mentioned of how to get rid of the garbage in your body. And we've talked about all that. So I'll let you look at that on your own on the slide. But we're going to keep working on this throughout the whole program. All right, we're going to get right into the macronutrients. So now we're going to discuss macronutrients. There are 3 macronutrients: carbohydrates, proteins, and fats. This week we're going to concentrate solely on fats because I think they're the most misunderstood. And your body needs fat, especially your brain, because it is 60% fat. And so I talked about the Greenland Eskimos in the workbook. 60% of their diet comes from fat, yet they have the lowest incidences of inflammatory diseases like heart disease, arthritis, and diabetes in the world. So why is this? And it's because they eat quality fat. things from wild caught fish, plants like olives, avocados, nuts, and seeds. It's not no fat or low fat, it's the right fat. So let's dive into that. There are 3 types of fats, and they are unsaturated, which is the healthy kinds of fats, and they are liquid at room temperature. So think olive oil, right? Saturated fats have some health benefits, but they're solid at room temperature. That would be like coconut oil. Trans fats are foreign to the body. They're not healthy. That's where hydrogenated and partially hydrogenated oils come in, and I want you to avoid that at all costs. All right? No, say no. All right, so there's young oils and old oils, and we want to eat more young oils. And I created a chart for you, so you want to eat more fish oil, flax oil, olive oil, nut oil, and coconut oil. And I've listed it here, but eat less of the corn, cottonseed, palm, sunflower, and soybean oil, and avoid, of course, hydrogenated, partially hydrogenated oils. Why? Is because those trans fats or the hydrogenated oils, partially hydrogenated oils, they raise your blood sugar, they raise your LDLs, which is the bad cholesterol. There's an incidence of higher low birth weights that's directly correlated to trans fats. It lowers your nutrition density, lowers your visual acuity, lowers your omega-3, that's supposed to be a 3 there, levels in your brain, and it lowers the good cholesterol, the HDLs. So an example of a hydrogenated oil that a lot of us use is margarine. That's just one example I'm going to say no to. All right. And so I didn't mean to switch the thing, but anyway, we'll just go on with it. I want you to eat saturated. Okay, so one of saturated fats is broken down into further categories, and one of those categories is polyunsaturated fats. Okay, I don't want to get too detailed for you. I'm trying to keep this as simple as possible, but polyunsaturated fats are broken down into omega-6s and omega-3. Okay, that's all you have to remember. The basic thing here is omega-6s and omega-3s are essential to the body, and we don't make them on our own. So we have to get them in our diet, all right? You have to get omega-6 and omega-3s in the body. However, the ratio should be 2 to 1. That's omega-6 to omega-3. But our standard American diet has us getting 10 to 1 of omega-6s to omega-3s. So that ratio is completely off. And that causes our bodies to get out of balance and our insulin levels and hormones to get out of balance. So a lot of problems really can be treated with upping the omega-3s in our diet and lowering omega-6s. You still want more omega-6s than omega-3s, but we've got to get more omega-3s in the diet. So how do we get that, basically? Some sources right here: wild-caught salmon. If you don't like salmon, do the flax seeds. Grind them up and put them in your smoothies every day. Add flax oil in salads. You can add that with the olive oil in your salads. When you buy eggs, get the omega-3 eggs. These are the best sources of omega-3s. And the benefits of omega-3s, they're going to build healthy brain cells, help reduce heart disease, lower your risk of certain cancers. They're going to elevate your mood. Oh my goodness. When I started eating more salmon twice a week, I try to eat salmon twice a week, my mood has improved. You probably think I'm always in a good mood. Well, ask Paul. I'm not. It's going to improve your learning and your attention and vision. Think of this. If our children could get more omega-3s in their diet, they will be better students in school. So it's just so important. I also wanted to mention the smoke point of oils. Once smoke, you see smoke in the pan, you need to discard that oil and clean the pan and start over, because that signals that the oil has been damaged and it's gone rancid. And then, so that's a potential cancer causing properties. It's potential cancer causing. Make sure you look at the handout I included in this module, because it will give you smoke points of the different oils and what oil to use for what. But basically I cook now with coconut oil or ghee. That's a clarified butter, because it's a saturated fat and it can hold up when you're cooking. Olive oil smokes at a very low point. So many of us cook with olive oil, and I bet it starts smoking pretty quick. It does. So you need to watch that. People brush olive oil on bread for bruschetta and then stick it in the oven and it starts smoking. Well, it's gone bad already. You can't do that. So you really need to watch the oils that you use and what you're putting in your body, because it's very unhealthy to consume oil that has been damaged. So really look at that oil handout that I handed to you and take it seriously so that you will be using the right kind of oils. Now, I know recently coconut oil got a bad rap. Well, don't listen to it. Coconut oil is saturated fat, and in moderation, saturated fats are fine. Coconut oil is it's a stable. It can handle heat. It lowers the high HDLs. Coconut oil does. And so you just need to really watch your oil intake and change your oils. Okay, maybe steam your veggies rather than sautéing them. That's another example. Okay. All right. Okay, we're moving on because I've ranted and raved long enough about oils. Change your oils. The next one is strength training, and I'm not going to say too much about this because there's a separate video of me showing you the band workout. So I don't want you to forget your cardio that I've already taught you about walking and increasing that intensity. So you're going to do that 3 or 4 days a week, where you're going to increase the intensity every time you walk or bike or ellipticize or swim, whatever. And then the other 3 days a week, 2 at the very least, or 3 days a week, I want you to do the strength training workout with the band that you already have purchased, because I know you do exactly what you're supposed to in this program. Always start with a 5-minute warm-up. You can do whatever you want to warm up. Do the strength training with the bands, and then I did not include a stretching on this video, but just try to stretch out what you worked out as best as you can, and I'm going to try to give some stretching tips in the next video next week. Okay, so take a look at that. I'm going to try to keep all those videos to less than 5 minutes, so you can just watch it and then go do it. Put on some good music. Have some fun. All right, last but not least is our stress reduction portion, and it's all about gratitude. I loved this quote. Some people grumble about roses having thorns. I am grateful that thorns have roses. That's by Alphonse Karr. And I wish I could find where I heard this, but it's a way, gratitude is a way of seeing that alters our gaze. And it is so hard to be grateful every moment of the day, right? So this week, and hopefully more than just this week, I want you to be really intentional about your gratitude. Go ahead and add it in your journal. I know you've been probably doing that, but just be intentional about it. And I think I've asked you to do a few things besides writing in the journal, but maybe even write about an event that you're grateful for, or a relationship that you're especially grateful for. Again, writing things down just enhances the synapses in our brain and really gets the juices flowing for gratitude. And focus on that event before you fall asleep. It's just something else to hopefully reduce your stress. That is it for this week. Have a great week. It's a great week to be healthy. All right. Thanks. Bye.